Welcome back, everyone. Let's dive right back into things with some interesting updates and insights, especially around ZBCN. A lot of traders in the crypto space still base their decisions off long-standing theories, and one of the most commonly cited is this: the longer the consolidation, the harder the pump. That idea has been proven time and again, especially with projects that have strong fundamentals but are flying under the radar. ZBCN is a great case study. It actually launched back in 2021, so it's not exactly a newcomer to the space, but it was rebranded in 2024, and that rebranding marked a serious turning point. While the coin remained relatively quiet for a long time, essentially flying below most people's radar, it was steadily accumulating interest. During that extended period of low volume, project quietly traded in the 10 to 20 million range. Not impressive to most, but for those paying attention, it was a signal of a deeper potential waiting to explode. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and nothing in this content should be considered financial or investment advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Crypto is volatile. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Any mention of projects, tokens, or companies is not a paid promotion unless explicitly stated. Now, what makes this all the more interesting is that the coin consolidated for well over a year before making any major move. That kind of accumulation isn't just random, it's strategic. We often hear traders talk about this scenario. The longer a project goes unnoticed while still showing signs of foundational progress, the more violent the eventual breakout can be. And that's exactly what happened here. Suddenly, without much public warning, we got a massive impulse wave, a leg up that shot out of nowhere. But to be fair, it wasn't completely out of the blue. Around May, ZBCN became part of the Circle Alliance program, and that association stirred a lot of buzz. There was a wave of hype linking them with Ripple and XRP, two giants in the space, and that was enough to trigger in the Smate-around. The coin exploded with a 10x move, a 1,000% increase, practically overnight. A lot of people in the comments said they got in around 7 cents, which is insane. If you were buying at that level and held through, that's life-changing money for some. The thing, that massive pump was just the beginning. Think about it. The people who were quietly accumulating for a year, they're not in this to play small. When a coin does a 10x, you can bet that many of those early holders are going to take profits. And that's fair. They waited patiently, positioned themselves well, and they deserve that win. There's a lot to unpack there, and different interpretations can lead to some solid discussions. In previous videos, I've also pointed out a seasonal trend in the crypto markets. September tends to be a bearish month historically. That's just how it's been. It's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point. But right after September comes October, which typically brings a flip to bullish sentiment. Right now, the signs are aligning. Bitcoin is trading at 120K, Ethereum is also on the rise, and the broader macroeconomic landscape is looking favorable. Stocks are hitting all-time highs, gold is up, even the Fed is leaning toward potential rate cuts. We could see 1 or 2 more before the year wraps, which would be a massive tailwind for risk assets like crypto. We're approaching the final phase of the bull run. This is not a drill. This is where altcoin season starts to turn into a parabolic rally. Most people don't realize that a majority of gains in a bull cycle are made in the final 3 months. That's when the FOMO hits, when the disbelief turns into euphoria, and when coins start doing crazy multiples overnight. It's what people call the banana zone. Gains that are so ridiculous, they almost seem fake. If you've never lived through an altcoin season before, it's hard to explain just how intense and fast everything moves. Massive shout out to ZBCN holders, especially those of you who got in early. You had the vision and patience. I wish I had spotted ZBCN sooner, but I was tied up in other coins back then. Still, no regrets. We're here now and there's plenty of upside left. Some random commenter came through and called ZBCN crap, and it made no sense. That tells me one of two things. Either you're trolling and don't understand the fundamentals, or you bought the top, panic sold on the dip, and now you're mad. Either way, it doesn't change the reality. The project is growing, the fundamentals are strong, and the community is expanding. We're now at 84,000 holders, and that number keeps climbing organically. No fake hype, no paid bots, real growth. From what I can tell, yes, they are working toward it, and they're pretty far along. Theory is that they're just finalizing the process now. We know they passed their SOC 2 audit around August 26-27 and officially announced it on September 1st. That's a big milestone. The MiCA compliance likely just needs some final confirmation. Once they clear that hurdle, it opens the door to a lot of institutional partnerships. Now, the timing couldn't be better. The team is heading to Frankfurt for the Cybos conference, one of the biggest financial events of the year. It's run by SWIFT, the global interbank messaging standard. For those unfamiliar, SWIFT basically facilitates how money is sent around the world. And who else is going to this event? Only the biggest names in finance and blockchain. Barclays, Chainlink, Deutsche Bank, European Central Bank, fintech associations, HSBC, JP Morgan, Lloyds, Mastercard, Nasdaq, OKX, and many more. It's like a who's who of traditional finance and crypto innovation. ZBCN being there is a statement. Why would a scam project be invited to a SWIFT-run conference? You don't buy your way into Cybos. You're invited by SWIFT themselves. Alignment with real-world financial use cases. Remember, ZBCN's entire mission is to revolutionize payroll using stablecoins, making it easier to pay workers instantly, globally, and in a regulated way. They're building infrastructure. This isn't a meme coin project hoping for hype, and it's a real protocol with integrations that allow companies to plug right into existing payroll systems without disrupting how businesses operate. That's powerful. Stablecoin adoption is skyrocketing. Just last year, over $2 trillion was settled in stablecoins. That's not a trend. ZBCN is a U.S.-based company, so it stands to benefit massively. When banks start issuing their own stablecoins, they'll need infrastructure providers to help move those assets securely and efficiently, and ZBCN is perfectly positioned to be that layer. And let's talk community. This is a project with a real fan base, not just passive holders. What other project has a mascot? That's dedication. That reminds me of the XRP army, that same kind of tribal loyalty. Many XRP holders also have positions in ZBCN. Currently, over 6 billion tokens are being staked. That's a serious vote of confidence. If you found value in this video, don't forget to smash that like button, share it with others in the community, and subscribe for more real-time updates, analysis, and deep dives into hidden crypto gems like ZBCN. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a move, especially in these final explosive months of the bull run.